Hi students from SPEC 794. I'm going to go through how I use Blackboard and also demonstrate some of the supports that I try to give you in the class so that it's really clear on what the expectations are every week. So I'm going to start out with I've got Blackboard on my screen here, and this is just the home page when you first log in, and then you'll find the SPEC 794 class, and you'll click on that, and that will take you right to the home page. And you can see here's the announcement. Now, you should have gotten this in an email as well as this letter is there available for you every week under announcements. So as I give you more announcements, then it'll just be the top one is the latest one. So I've given you the link to this so you can see already my way of creating little videos for you, always less than 15 minutes, so that you're prepared for what the expectations are for that week. Also included in here, I showed you the required text, and then I also asked you to come to class thinking about your access to students with moderate to severe disabilities, what you can do to support their learning, and how you can support other stakeholders who you work with at the school or within the community. So if you have any questions, please let me know. The university has an academic integrity statement, and so right away when you go on Blackboard, I just want you to come through here. You'll click on this link right here, and that'll take you to, right here it says begin, and it'll go through and talk about some of the expectations around academic integrity. You will have access to the syllabus within the website and any changes that I made, because please note that syllabi are subject to change partially because I don't know necessarily what you're coming to the table with, and I want to make sure to support you. So if we're working on something and I realize, hey, we need more time, then we're going to shift the syllabus around a little bit to make sure that you're really able to master all these different skills within the semester. So this is just the first syllabus for this class. Next is just some information about me. So we've got a nice picture, which seems a little bit flat. We also have my phone number and my office hours, and then I actually give you my personal cell phone, and you can call anytime from 9 to 9, or you can text. But I also answer emails pretty quickly. The textbooks I've gone through, and there's two textbooks that are required. So one is the Snell and Brown, the other is the Story and Minor, and then we also have some required articles, the Ayers and I'm sorry, I forgot to post. It's actually the response to Ayers. It's Courtrod, Spooner, Browder, and Jimenez, and I'll add that there. And you can get the textbooks either from the publisher, or you can get them from the Toro online bookstore, or you can get them online at Amazon. It's really important you get these quickly because there's a lot of reading to do this semester, and I don't want you to fall behind. Next, you'll see on this column right here, I'm just going over, and it says weekly modules. This is how I organize the information and the materials that you're going to need each week. So for example, when I click on this, should it open? There we go. You have this lovely movie right here, and then you can see right here it says welcome to 794 PowerPoint. This will be the PowerPoint that we use in class. I could potentially, not the first week, but I could potentially change the PowerPoint all the way up to right before class. If for some reason I get an email or I'm grading your papers and I think, you know what, this is actually what I want to focus on, I might make some changes. So just be aware of that if you're looking at printing out the PowerPoint or anything. Then I always ask for you to watch the movie so you can get an idea about what it is that we'll be working on before you come to class, and so you can if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can let me know right away. And then just exploring Dr. Jez's Blackboard, so I want you to read the announcements, I want you to complete the academic integrity statement, locate the syllabus, read the information about Dr. Jez if you want, order your textbooks, and go to the weekly modules, for a list of expectations and assessments for the week, and then also download the PowerPoint for class. I'm a little bit different than some of your instructors in that I actually would like you to have your computer or laptop or Chrome or whatever it is that you have there in class, because we might access an article, or I want you to integrate some sort of technology or email me an assignment in the middle of class. So I try to make it very interactive, and so for that reason having some sort of technology is useful. If you don't have access to that, please let me know so that we can come up with some workarounds for that. So then we've got the agenda, and this is all the agenda of the PowerPoint. And then I have highlighted here what to do. So by the 30th, I want you to actively read and annotate these 3 readings. So chapter 1 of Snell and Brown, the Ayers, Lowry, Douglas, and Sievers, and the Courtauld, Spooner, Browder, and Jimenez article. Then I want you to complete the caseload spreadsheet, the stakeholder schedules, and activity 1. And then by the 28th of February, you're going to be turning in your veteran teacher's observation, which I'll go into in a little bit. So here we go. I know that sometimes it's not always easy to get the textbook right away, but I don't want you to fall behind in reading. So I have actually put the Snell and Brown chapter 1, and then also both readings, both articles are posted here. And I will try and get them copied and handed out to you in class as well, because what I would like you to do is show me some active reading and annotation, and we'll go over that in class. A lot of the things that I'm going to have you do are best practice for you to be teaching your students as well, although it would be at a different level. And so a big jump off that I want to see is how you kind of interact with text when you're reading it. This is a lot of dense stuff, and I want you to pull out as much information as possible. We're also going to be moving fairly quickly through this semester, so really, honing in on your own study skills will be really important right away. Next, we have the case load spreadsheet, and this is due on the 30th, so that's the night before our next class, which will be on the 1st. And it's by midnight, and then after that you are automatically, your grade goes down by 10% if you're late. The caseload activity is basically a spreadsheet that you're going to create to organize your caseload. So whatever students you might interact with, if you're an intern teacher, then who are the students on your caseload? If you are an outside support person, then where are all the students that you're working with, or who are you working with in the community? I want you to put in information such as the IEP dates that they have, assessment dates, support personnel who work with them, family contacts, that type of thing. You're also going to need, here we go. So it's the pseudonyms to keep the privacy of the student, age, grade level, ability, disabilities, if there's more than one, IEP goals, academic supports and services to meet their IEP goal, behavior supports and services to meet goals and maintain the safety of the students and other at the school site, the assessment and progress monitoring method, the support personnel, the family contact information, and other notes. And if for some reason you don't quite know this information and you're struggling to get it, then you need to contact me before the assignment's due so that we can once again do a workaround for that. The other big part of being a special educator is keeping track of all of the people who are working with your students' schedules. So this might be one of those, like the behavior specialist or the behavior analyst, along with the occupational therapist and the speech and language therapist and your paraprofessionals. And so all of these different people, and your students, so all these different stakeholders is what we call them, have their own schedule. And what we need to do is make sure that we know who's where and what they're doing at all times so that we can make sure that we are creating the best educational opportunities for each one of our students that's also based on their IEPs. Then the final thing is the activity 1. So in this, you have to answer all questions using the information from the textbooks and the reading. So there's the textbook and the readings, the class discussion, so what we talk about in the first PowerPoint and in our class, and then also your own experience. I want to know what you know or what you've seen or what you've heard about each one of the questions I ask. Then you're going to, of course, download the document and then save it as with your name in it. And then if you have any questions or concerns, you need to contact me. So if you've been struggling for more than 5 minutes on something, then chances are that would be a good time to reach out to me. So you can see activity 1. We have a bunch of questions here just on who your students are, or who are students with disabilities. What does inclusion look like? I have you watching this video here and then answering these questions, and then watching another video answering these questions. And then what if a skill is needed in the school environment but not the community environment? Is it still a functional skill worth teaching? Do we want people with disabilities to be normal like their non-disabled peers, or do we accept and promote their differences? And then every week I'm going to have you give me feedback on something. So this week I want to know that now that we've gone over the syllabus and the course assignments, do you have any questions or concerns? For example, are you concerned about not having enough access to students? Because in this class, we actually have to do a case study. And if that's the case, then we might need to look into either doing a workaround or supporting you in finding a better time to maybe take this course. So here we go. We've got finally the moderate to severe teacher observation protocol. So I'm going to click on that. And you can see that this is just, here we go. This is a just quick protocol. You're going to be going out and doing a 45-minute to an hour observation of a teacher who's working with moderate to severe students. And I want it to be a veteran teacher, so someone who's taught in the classroom for more than 3 years and is identified as a proficient educator by their principal. And I want to know if there's any general ed students in there, how many students with IEPs, any ELL, any aides, volunteer support people, so that would be like a paraprofessional, what the school name is and what subject you're watching, and then a GLOW. So that's what the teacher's strengths in working with all students. The GROW is what areas of growth have you seen during your observation, and then just a summary of the experience. What went well, what supports could the teacher use to support all students, and how might this experience change your teaching practice. So really it's just about getting out into the community so that you can see more things that are going on in good teaching practices, because the more exposure you have, the better teacher you're going to be. And you will need to get that done by, as it says, the 28th. So that will be an assignment in a few weeks, but I wanted you to have the protocol so you could schedule the time to go out and watch this teacher. So if you have any questions, as always, we'll bring them to the first class, and then after that, you can always email, text, call. I just want you to be the best teachers possible. I want to support you in whatever way I can so that this class is meaningful towards your preparation and mastery in special education. All right, thank you and have a great day.